Welcome back to Rockin' Inc. MC live from New York. We're back here in New York. It's starting to get cold. We're getting that chill in the air. You know, even though it's like 50, 59 degrees, it feels colder. You know, just come away from the summer and back into the winter. The leaves are turning. It looks great. Don't get me wrong. I like it, but don't like that winter cold feeling. But anyway, I had a great weekend again. Friday night, I was back in my spot. I was at the Arden Friday night celebrating a friend's 50th birthday. Yes, I have friends that are 50. Younger than me, imagine that. But yes, I had a friend's birthday on Friday. It was a great night. And Saturday night, a lot of things got messed up. I was supposed to do a million things, and I had a few problems with my daughter's car or whatever, and I wound up just going to see a friend of mine, Mickey James, which actually Mickey James will be here next week for a special Halloween show. And Mickey has his new CD out, and he has a lot of things going on. We'll have Mickey on next week. And Sunday, stood home, family day, a lot of cooking, a lot of eating and relaxing. And tonight I have a special guest, and it's going to be a great show. I have Rachel Russo. She's a dating and relationships coach, matchmaker, image consulting, author, speaker with a master's degree in marriage and family therapy, a BA in psychology, and a certification in international relationship coach. Man, it's a lot of stuff. And Rachel has worked in the dating industry for 9 years, and she has 2 books out. She's an author, and she just came out with her second book. I'm going to talk about all that. And without further ado, let's bring on Rachel.
Hi, Jay.
How you doing?
How are you?
I'm doing good. And you had an exciting weekend so far.
I did. I had a lot of fun book signing party and an after party after in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn.
Hometown?
Not my hometown.
No?
Actually, I've only been there 3 months.
Okay.
I'm a Jersey girl originally, and I've been in Manhattan and also Queens for a brief stint, but New York for 7 years, but 3 years in Bay Ridge. 3 months, I'm sorry,
3 months
in Bay Ridge. Time does fly, but not that much.
And Brooklyn is the place to live. Supposedly it's the hottest place to live right now.
It's getting very trendy.
Yes, it's the hot place to live. But you had a book signing for your new book, which this is your second book, right? It's your second book.
How to Get Over Your Ex, a step-by-step guide to mend a broken heart, Italian-American style.
And we'll talk about that in a few minutes. So basically your roots, you went to school, you wound up going to Rutgers University and you have a master's in psychology. How did you go from that to being a relationship expert?
So I actually graduated with the BA in psychology from Rutgers in 2005, and I was looking for whatever job I can do while I was applying to grad school. So I ended up going to grad school. The degree is actually in marriage and family therapy, the master's that I have, but I took a year off, and I wanted to get work experience, so I was looking for whatever I could do at that point, whether it was social work or psychiatric hospital. But I landed on what I thought as a 21-year-old was just the coolest job ever. And that was for a matchmaking company. an online startup. It was a Craigslist ad. I got really lucky off a Craigslist ad, and that started my career in the dating industry.
Interesting. At 21, I'm trying to think, at 21, what did I know about dating? I didn't know much.
Yeah, I probably didn't know much about dating at 21 either. And I feel like I learned so much in almost a decade from working with people that were years older than me. Their 20s, their 30s, their 40s, 50s. My oldest client was 68, so I kind of got a crash course. But when you're young, you just know about puppy love and hooking up, I guess.
All right, so from being a matchmaker in the dating industry, what creative, healthy relationship what have you learned in the industry to help people? You know, what?
There is so much I've learned from watching people dating and breaking up and getting into relationships and marriages and divorces. I think the most important message that I could give your listeners to take away is that you have to put effort into relationships. If you're single, you have to put effort into finding your partner. Once you have your partner, you have to put work and commitment into making it last. It's not something that can come so naturally. Maybe the chemistry comes naturally, but you have to work on whatever your status is. You have to work on it.
It is a lot of work, and nowadays it's a little harder to do that work. A lot of people don't understand it. You know, like being older, our generation has bypassed like our parents. You know, being married was a thing that people got married and that was it for life. You know, that's not the trend no longer. That's very rare. You know, and now we have so many outlets. We have the social media, we have our cell phones, the internet, and people are all over the world talking to people, so it makes it even harder. And we'll talk a little about social media later on. You know, so it gets a lot harder to focus on your relationship. You really have to want to have your relationship and make it work. You know, and that's what happens with people that actually are in relationships. They get divorced, and what happens? They go to therapy to work on their relationship when they should have been working on it all the time already, right?
Exactly.
So we fall out of that, and a lot of things get in the way. I would think you could answer me here. You know, when people have a relationship and then they get it married, they have kids, and it's about kids and work, and you as a couple get separated, and that's the marriage side of it where it sort of like falls apart.
There has to be time. I think that couples need to make a date night a priority, and that can be difficult when they have children and work responsibilities, but that goes back to putting in that effort. And you raise a really good point. There's a lot of distractions more than ever before with the social media, with the options that are out there. Maybe it becomes harder to focus on one option, so they have to really commit.
You know, the viewers are probably interested in your personal story, and I've heard that you're known for talking the talk and walking the walk, right?
Yeah.
So tell me more about that.
So I think you're probably referring to the reality dating blog that I did. And this happened a few years ago. I actually was Miss New York of a social research experiment, and I went on 92 dates in 1 year and blogged about them all. And I did these dates in New York, and this project was called 365 Dates. They completed it in other countries as well. So there was a Miss Shanghai, there was a Miss Melbourne, and we compared the cultural differences. So I say I'm talking the talk and walking the walk because I put myself out there and went on this unbelievable amount of dates in a short period of time just because it was a fun experiment, and also to learn and put myself in the environment where I was coaching others. So I did it myself, so now I can coach others. The book I wrote about breakups. I've been through a breakup. I recovered from a breakup. Now I can help others move on from their ex.
So tell me about your experience with the mock dating. This is basically is almost what you do with your clients, right? So when you have a client, you sort of go on a mock date with your clients?
I've done a couple mock dates. This is a relatively new service, and I had clients who were curious about how they would come across on a date, and they wanted objective feedback. So I went in a setting in which it was a date with a couple of different male clients, and I had a dinner, I had drinks with them, I had a 2-hour date. And I acted as if I would want to get to know them. I asked them questions I would ask a potential date. All the while, in my head, I was taking mental notes about their dating etiquette, how they looked. Was I attracted to them? Were they talking about the wrong things? Did they talk with their mouth full? And then after the date, the mock date, I would go home and type up an entire report giving them all of this feedback. So essentially the client knows how they come across to an objective woman, and then I can coach them on the areas that they need to improve.
Are you brutally honest, or do you feel a little awkward sometimes?
I am brutally honest, but everyone that knows me and works with me thinks I'm a sweetheart. So I'm not mean, but I have a way of saying things that I get the point across, but I'm very diplomatic about it and kind to them. But I tell the truth. I definitely don't sugarcoat things too much. I just say it in a nice way.
So out of those 92 dates and stuff that you went on, what were some of the, like, give me the weirdest one that you had?
The weirdest one. I was recently asked this question, like, what was my worst date on this radio show that I did? And I always think of the same thing because I think a lot of women can relate to this. They've been in a situation where they felt like stifled and trapped, and they wanted to get out of the date. And of course, men could be too, but some men just come across very strong and they don't read social cues too well. Sorry, guys, it's true. And anyway, I was on this date in Central Park for a first date, which is a little too intimate to have a picnic, in my opinion, with a stranger that you never met. So the guy brings a blanket. He wants to bring utensils. He wants to have this like cheese thing, but he forgets the utensils, and we have to go to this bodega to go get the utensils. So now it's already awkward because we have to pick the blanket up and go back. And anyway, then we're on the blanket later after the utensil shopping, and he tries to kiss me, and it's like then I'm there and I'm stuck in a park. So that was really bad. And he didn't get the hint, and I had to push him away and then go back to having conversation when I was already turned off because he just went in too soon.
Yeah. That is definitely a little awkward.
Yeah.
Now, another question. Now, on one of the dates, did you ever have an attraction to one of the guys and say, like, now this guy I really like?
I did. I had a bunch of dates with one guy. I actually had 10 dates with him. So the project allowed me to go on multiple dates, up to 10 dates with any one guy. After that, they said, you're in a relationship and you can't write about it anymore.
Okay.
So, but yeah, there were a few great guys that I was attracted to, and there was one or two that really stood out.
Now, are you single now?
I am single. This was a few years ago that I completed it. And after that, I did a little of getting back together with past relationships and dating some more. But really right after the blog, I took a long dating detox because I felt like I didn't want to go on another date. I just wanted to focus on myself and work after all that intense serial dating.
So do you think being in the business that you are, it's harder for you to be in a date because you analyze it too much?
It is harder for me, but it's not because I analyze it so much. It's because I have a high standard and I see how I should be treated, and I see how women are treated badly, and I see relationships that would not work, and I pick up on things maybe a little quicker than the average person because I'm blessed with what I do. So I think that I'm more selective about who I will get into a relationship with. There's less qualified prospects for me, but it's not because I'm sitting there and analyzing everything on the date, although I do analyze a little bit because this is what I do.
All right, we're going to take a commercial, but when we come back, we're going to talk to Rachel again, and then we're also going to get on the phone. So if you want to call in, think of something you want to talk about, your questions you want to ask Rachel, we're going to open up the phone lines and have people call in. So let's go to commercial. We'll be back in a few minutes. We're back, Rockin' Inc. I'm back with Rachel Russo, the woman with a million titles. A million titles, man. It's great. But getting back to the weekend, on Saturday, you did a book signing at the Bookmark Shop, right?
Bookmark Shop in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn.
And that went well, as you said. It went well, right?
It was so much fun. It really even exceeded my expectations. It was so nice to have friends and family and people I didn't even know that heard about this and came out and bought my book, and they were all engaged in my talk, and it was fun.
Did you feel like a rock star signing autographs?
I did. It was a challenge to figure out how to sign and talk at the same time, but I did it.
You get used to it, right? So, about your book, so How to Get Over Your Ex, a step-by-step guide broken down. And what is, this is the part where I don't understand. It said the Italian-American style. What is that?
I wrote a very unique book. It's not just a cliche breakup book about like eating ice cream and sitting in front of your TV, but it's about using Italian American culture as a way to look at getting over your breakup in a different context. So obviously I'm Italian American. That inspired me to use my culture to kind of help others. And I realized there's things about Italian American culture that really can apply to helping people to be strong and move on from heartbreak.
Okay, that's good. So your book is out there to really help in this. It's really, you think it's going to get to that point?
Yeah, breakups are very difficult, and I've had a lot of people reach out to me already who were going through breakups. One girl even said that she had to put down my book because it was so on point in what she was experiencing emotionally, and she said, I have to wait a little bit and come back to this because you're really hitting home. You know, there's a lot in there about what people are going through and how to change and how to deal with some of the negative emotions and how they can use these elements of Italian American culture like food and family and having faith and the idea of la dolce vita, the sweet life, how they can use these things to get over their hardship.
You also mentioned about treating your ex like a stunad.
Oh, well, your ex is a stunad because he or she broke up with you or
Okay.
let you go and break up with them. So a stunad is, you know what a stunad is, right?
Yes, I do. I'm
Okay.
Italian.
Okay, but for those who might not know, a stunad is just kind of someone who's a little stupid. And I list some red flags in the book of stunad exes, both male and female. So if you're with a stunad, or you're not sure if you're with a stunad, you'll know after reading this book and you'll realize that you deserve a lot better.
Okay. Now, how about family? What role does that play in the relationship?
Family is an important part of Italian American culture, and I think if someone is going through a breakup, they need a strong support system. So I also suggest that maybe if someone doesn't have a very close family tie, their friends can be their family. They just need someone to lean on, to be there, shoulder to cry on, to distract them through whatever pain they're going through.
To be your support system.
Absolutely.
Support. What I want to do is I want to get the number up. We're going to have some people call in, so I want to put the number up, and once we know we got some callers in the queue here, we'll take a few calls, whatever we can get in before the next commercial, and you can ask Rachel your calls, and we'll see if we could help some people out over the phone and get some questions in here.
Sounds fun.
Is your book available everywhere? Where is it?
Well,
actually
not everywhere
available?
yet, but that would be
Okay.
nice. So
So-
far, we're selling it at the Bookmark Shop in Brooklyn, and it's also online as both an ebook and print on demand. It's on a bunch of different websites, most popular being Amazon, BarnesandNoble.com, iTunes, Kobo, and BookLocker.com.
And they could go to your website?
Yes, RachelRusso.com has links to this book as well as the first book I wrote about how to become a matchmaker.
That's your first
Yes,
book?
I wrote a fab job guide to become a matchmaker. So I have a link,
Very
books,
interesting.
if anyone wants to check them out.
Vic, will he tell us when we have someone? I got someone there? All right, let's see who we got here. Hello?
Hello,
Hey, how you doing? What's your name?
my name is Alex DiCarlo, and I'm actually also a friend of Rachel Russo, and I've been following on her expert advice on lots of things in terms of relationships.
Hi, Alex.
Hi, how are you, Rachel?
Great, thanks for calling in.
So
Well,
what,
thank you
what would you like
for,
to ask her that we could all hear? Since you are friends with her, and you probably get to talk to her a lot.
Sure. Well, one thing that's basically very important to me is how do you get out of a friend zone when you're with someone very special and you've established some sort of rapport over a lot of years. You get stuck in a friend zone all of a sudden, and then things that you thought that bonded you together aren't the ones that bonded you. You just end up stuck in that friend zone all of a sudden.
Alex, I have some bad news. The friend zone happens right away. I think women know within like seconds of meeting a guy whether they want to sleep with him or not. Now, that being said, I do believe that a guy can grow on a woman. and if he has a great personality and he treats her well, she can definitely change. But if it's been years and she's been seeing him as a friend for years, I feel like he's already way beyond that friend zone. So it would be very hard to get out of that because she knows so much about him and they already have this dynamic. So I feel like you have to do some preventative work here to avoid being in the friend zone from the beginning.
Well, when you start dating in the very beginning, what would you advise someone to do so that way they know that you want to build a friendship, but that you also want to establish an evolving friendship into a relationship?
Well, relationships are based on friendship when they're good, healthy relationships. So there has to be that element in the beginning that you actually care about the woman and you want to help her maybe with her career, or you take interest in her interests and you care about her. So you have to show those kind of friendly characteristics, but you also have to avoid waiting too long to make a physical move. So maybe within a few dates or a month or whatever, depending on what you're comfortable with and she is. You don't want to be a creeper, but there's a fine line between waiting too long and going in too soon. So you have to find that delicate balance. And I do coach men through that because it can be difficult to know and read the signs. But my advice to avoid being friend zoned is to take that platonic connection that you're building and turn it into something romantic. Flirt with her, read her body language. You have to physically touch her and kiss her and all that, or you're just going to be in that friend zone.
That good?
That really helps. It really does.
Great.
And just to let you know, I enjoy very often reading your blog. It has very valuable information there on working with relationships, and I enjoy it very much.
Oh, thank you, Alex. Keep reading. There's plenty more.
All right, Alex,
Will
thanks
do.
for your
Thank
call. We're going to try to take another call and hope she gave you a lot of good information. I know you probably have her phone number, so you could probably call her and hit her up a little bit more on questions.
She did, and I'm enjoying your show very much.
All right, thanks for calling.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, bye. Let's see if we can take one more quick one if we get another one through before the commercial. That was a nice long one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had a lot of questions.
Yeah, that was actually a few. We don't have one right now. All right, so let's head out to a commercial. We'll be right back. I'm going to show a video. We're going to do a little bit more talking. We're going to take more calls. So stay there by your phones, and we'll be back in a few minutes. We're back, Rock and MC. I'm here with Rachel Russo, and we're going through some questioning. And I want to let people know about the phone lines. We don't have a lot of lines here, so if you're calling in and you're getting busy, try to keep calling in, and because we want to go back in a few more minutes to take some calls in. But what I want to do right now, I want to show. I have a video, and I like showing videos. Everyone knows that, and I tried to find a video that would be a good fit for the show. This is a relationship in 5 minutes video. It's from when someone meets somebody to the whole steps to the end and break up and the whole thing. And I thought it was funny, it was cute, and it could break things up here. So it has a lot of good things in it, and it breaks down into the social media, and we're going to talk about that now also. So let's go to the video, and this is a relationship in 5 minutes, and it's very interesting.
I was admiring you from afar too. Autumn.
Autumn, I'm Matt. Nice to meet you.
Matt, nice to meet you too.
You have gorgeous hair. Can we get dinner
Thank you.
sometime?
Yeah. I would love that.
Great. I'll see you Thursday.
Okay, great.
Take care.
Bye.
Hope you're hungry.
I'm starving, actually. I didn't get a chance to eat today.
This is my favorite sushi place. You'll love
Yeah,
it.
I read about it on Yelp. Mostly good stuff.
I really like you.
I kind of really like you too.
I saw your Facebook page. Your pictures look
Oh
great.
my god, you're a stalker.
No. I just wanted to check things out and make
It's
sure
okay,
everything's
I
on the
stalked
level.
you too.
You did.
It's fine.
Okay,
Yep,
great.
I googled you. Nice stuff, nice images. Except for that one from high school, from your soccer game. You should
Oh,
take
the
that.
soccer
You're like,
game.
"Ooh."
Well,
It's
you got to
little-
represent your roots. High school's important. So your political views seemed on par with mine. I think that's great.
Same. I noticed that as well. That's
Yeah.
usually I kick them out right away if it says conservative.
And I have a friend who works management on Match.com. I noticed you didn't have an account, which is great. It means you're not
Right.
looking for other people actively. I think that's important.
Yeah, the online dating thing is a little weird.
A little creepy.
Yeah, a little creepy.
No, this is much better. I think we're a good fit.
I think so too.
It's pretty great.
Wanna get out of here?
Yeah, let's go back to my place.
All right.
Oh. Mm.
No, yeah, right there. Oh my God, please don't stop. Please don't stop. Please, can we actually, did you just come?
I'm sorry.
You just, okay.
It doesn't usually happen to me that quickly.
Uh-huh. I hadn't heard that before.
I can typically last much longer. No, I'm not kidding.
Okay.
We can try it again.
Sure.
Give me 10 minutes.
All right. Do you have a tissue or a sweater or something?
Did I get some on you?
Yeah, a little bit.
I apologize.
It's okay.
This is very awkward.
Yeah, it's a little awkward. It's fine. It's totally fine. A lot of people go through it. I know.
Maybe we should change the subject.
Okay.
Hey, so you're going to meet my friends tonight.
Oh my God, I hope they like me.
I think they'll love you.
You do?
You have beautiful red hair.
Oh, they are. Did they like redheads?
Yeah, well, everyone likes a redhead.
When are you going to meet my friends? You're like
You're gonna
afraid
ask
to meet
me.
my friends.
I'll meet your friends.
I've asked you 3 times.
3 times?
Yeah, keep saying, come by my work, come by my work, come by my work, and you just haven't yet.
I'll come by your work tomorrow.
Okay, perfect. I like that. You're so sweet when you look at me like that.
I love laying here next to you.
I know, I love it too. It's like a perfect fit.
I'm so glad I found you.
I know, it's amazing. It's like fate. They say that exists, and I was skeptical until I met you.
You make me happy.
Thank you. Likewise.
I noticed you left the cap off my toothpaste.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to let you know I like to keep the cap on my
I
toothpaste.
know, because it grosses you out, right?
It's a little gross, yeah. And
It's
if you
not that
get me in the
gross.
sink, please just clean it out of the sink. That's all I'm asking.
If I get what in the sink?
Toothpaste from the tube in which you left the cap off of, if you could.
Okay, well,
wipe
at least I
it
brush
out of
my
the sink.
teeth twice a day.
I brush my teeth 3 times a day.
Do you?
3 times.
Okay.
And floss. You don't floss.
I do floss. I floss. Whatever.
You know what? I'm sick of this. I'm sick and tired of hearing you complain.
Complain?
You're always complaining.
You're the one who kind of hinted that you want to sleep with other women.
I didn't hint, I said it. What's wrong with that? It's 2013.
How can you just say that to your girlfriend? We've been together like 11 months. It's almost a year.
Listen to me. I have a friend at Match.com, and I was on some profiles, and I found some women that I think you'd like a lot. Maybe we could introduce them into the relationship. No, I'm serious.
Okay, well, I mean, if you want to play that game, I think your best friend's smoking.
Smoking?
Yeah.
You
Like
think he's
smoking
attractive?
hot.
Yeah.
Smoking hot.
Well, guess what? It's not like I haven't noticed
Oh, yeah.
the way you look at him.
The way I look at
Yeah,
him.
the way you look at him.
In front of you.
In front of me.
You should see the way I look at him when you're not around.
Oh, that's great. That's great. You know what? Maybe I'll just call my friend in management at Match.com.
Oh, yeah. Your friend in
Match.com.
Match.com. Wow.
You know what? There's really nothing wrong with internet dating at all.
Oh, really?
Really.
Are you internet dating?
It's 2013.
Are you a loser?
You know what?
2013. Thank
You know
you
what?
for the date update.
I can't take this anymore. We're done.
Done.
I can't believe
You're gonna
her,
give
man.
up
I can't
everything
believe
because you
her.
want an online date?
Oh, yes, I want an online date.
He wants to online date. He calls
Oh
me
my
and
God,
he's like,
she's brutal.
He says,
She's
literally,
brutal.
there are
she's always
beautiful
yelling
women on
and
Match.com.
screaming, and she's not
It's
tolerant.
crazy.
The cap is always off
Oh,
my toothpaste. I mean, it's been so long now.
He freaks out when
It's
I don't
ridiculous.
put the cap on the toothpaste.
I don't freak out
He's
when
a
you.
freak. Total
I don't
OCD.
freak out. I ask you.
Where did he
I
become
ask
so
you,
uptight
all right?
and rigid? Come
You know
on.
what?
It's just like his mom.
I'm so glad I don't.
I'm
date
sorry,
her
but I
anymore.
don't like his mom.
I will never
No,
get
she's
back
a
together
nightmare. I
with her.
can't deal with her.
She's the worst thing that ever happened to me.
Never again. Never, ever again.
So hey, are you seeing anyone?
No.
Are you free Tuesday?
How's Wednesday?
Better.
We're back. That was pretty cool, wasn't it?
That was great. I loved that.
It gives you the whole beginning, the whole up and the down and the family and everything, right?
This is modern day relationships right there. I
So
mean,
took you through all the steps,
down to the toothpaste.
down to the toothpaste. Everything they liked, everything they didn't like. But we're going to put the number up. We're going to take calls in. We're going to still talk. When calls come in, we'll start grabbing them. But we talked about, like, in that video there, they started talking about, like, Match.com. And, you know, with technology, technology makes it a lot easier for couples and relationships to fight. It gives us more of a reason, right? When you're together, who's on their phone texting or whatever, and you don't know who you're texting, you're not paying attention to each other. You know, so it brings a lot of things into relationships that we never had, you know, whether you want to spend time together, and, you know, you need to put your phone away, you know, whether it's your friend or whoever it is, you know. So that's where technology plays a big part in all that. The interruptions with your time together, the virtual connections that it replaces the physical intimacy of a couple.
It also keeps people way too connected to their past. And one thing I recommend in my book is that people defriend their exes. Stop following them on Twitter, at least for a period of time. You can't be so connected worrying about who they're dating now and did they have a baby. It's too much.
And, you know, and even getting someone that is a friend, even if you're not interested in somebody, you get a message and the message could be misinterpreted, you know, in a weird way. And it starts,
yeah, people misinterpret all the time.
So there's a lot of things with the social media now. And you could be single and sign up for, you know, Match.com or one of these dating websites, and now you're dating somebody, and it seems like, I know, you can't get off it. Even when you get off, you still seem to like get all these emails and all this stuff coming in.
I've heard several stories of people that were dating for 6 months or more and discovered that their partner still has their profile on Match.com and never took it down, even though they're supposedly in an exclusive relationship. They're still checking.
So
seeing what's out there, that paradox of choice and all those options, that's what gets in the way.
So that's something that, you know, see, it gets in the way, and the person's really not looking for that real relationship because they're still out there looking. So,
and a lot of times they'll stay with the person they're with, even though they're not really happy, but they're waiting until they line up their next better relationship. So they think.
Now, you're out there and you talk to a lot of people. Is that going on? Is a lot of that going on?
Unfortunately, it is going on. I don't want to paint a negative picture here, but I'm being realistic. And I think that people need to be secure with themselves and happy in their lives before they just jump into a relationship again. If they're not happy with who they're with, break up. Life is too short to be miserable and you know, comfortably uncomfortable, as I like to call it. So let it go.
Now, can you share your top tips on how they can find some new love out there? You got any top tips for people, how they can find their new love?
Top tips. Okay, so first of all, be the best version of themselves, and they will attract the type of partner that they want. Number one. Number two, know what you want. You can't find what you want unless you have some idea of what that is, right? So I suggest people actually make a wish list and write down the qualities that they want and make sure that they actually epitomize those qualities themselves, because like attracts like. And then third would be to put themselves out there. And we're talking about Match.com. I'm not hating on Match.com. I think it is a good idea to be on the internet, and I help people write their profiles on different sites and ghostwrite messages for them. So I do suggest the online approach, as well as just going out the old-fashioned way and meeting people. It could be at a bar, but it can also be developing interests and, you know, going to a meetup.com group or pursuing something that they like, that they're passionate about, and then meeting like-minded people, or through friends. Matchmaking. I mean, just try all these different avenues, because what do you have to lose? And you never know which one will actually click, or if you're just going to run into someone at the grocery store.
And do you suggest to people out there, because there's a lot of different places for people to meet people, and you might live a different lifestyle than a lot of other people, and you might go to a place where, you know, someone's not in that sort of lifestyle level as yours, and you might meet somebody that you really like, but you might not like their lifestyle and you can't get them out of that. Or you know, do you recommend people go into more of their type of fit of a person? You know, if you're a dress-up, go-outer, you know, do you go to a regular corner bar, you know, type of thing?
Right, okay, so an example I can give you is the nightlife industry. Very difficult to maintain relationships. If you're kind of a 9-to-5er morning person, you don't drink, you don't party, and you're gonna date someone who's a bartender or a promoter who's going to be out till 4 a.m. when you're getting up to go to work. So I don't think that's a good match right now at this point. Could you fall in love? Yes. And you could be a great match, but you have to overcome a lot of challenges. It's probably better if you have a similar lifestyle. Maybe when you meet, your lifestyles aren't the same, but if you really want to be with someone, you have to bend and be a little flexible. You have to create a vision for the future as a couple, and I think there needs to be a synergy with the lifestyles.
Good answer. It's a
Thanks.
great answer. And do we have any calls? I know people have been flashing in. They've been not hanging on. No one's there right now. We had someone and we had nobody. But if you want to call in, I'd like to take another call. I know people are ringing in and they can't hold on, so I would like to try to get another one. So the number's up on the board there if you want to call in. Also, what's the best way for someone out there, if, say someone wants to get in touch with you, to talk to you, questions, or if someone wants to do a mock date or something, I mean, they just still go to your website?
Yeah, my website has my information on all the various social media sites. I'm very active on Twitter, so I can tell my handle to our listeners here. It's just Rachel T. Russo. Rachel spelled R-E-C-H-E-L, the letter T, followed by R-U-S-S-O. And on my website, rachelrusso.com, I have my email address, which is just rachel@rachelrusso.com, and my Facebook fan page, Rachel Russo MS MFT. And they'll be able to connect with me there, Instagram, LinkedIn, everything is on that site.
It's on there.
Google Plus,
Google
very
Plus.
active.
All right, so what I want to do is, since I don't have a caller, I want to set up for what I have going on after this commercial. So maybe we'll go to commercial a few minutes early here, so when we get back, we have a little bit more time to hit on a few more things. So let's go back out to a commercial, and like I said, take the number, call in with your questions, and hang on the line. We're back, Rockin' Inc. MC. I'm back here with Rachel Russo, and like I said, she has a million titles. Do you have certificates for every title?
I do. I have 2 degrees. I have a certification. I specialize in things. It's not like I'm a total Jill of all trades. I mean, I have been focused all on dating and relationships for 9 years.
Mm-hmm. That's great. I want to get to a video, and then when I come back, I want to talk a little bit more about your book. But, you know, I always do a music segment, and I have done a lot with the Alice Cooper crew here. And Tommy Henriksen has his CD, Tommy, 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 that his single's hitting on October 31st, Halloween. And I have his new video. And Tommy, if you don't know, is a guitarist and writer. He does a lot of work with Alice Cooper. They're on tour. They're actually going to be here at the Garden. And he has his new video here. And in the video, he has his son, Finn Cooper. And he named his son Finn Cooper is his middle name, Henriksen, because, you know, he has a big part with Alice Cooper. And he has some of his friends, his friend from Sick Truth Clothing, Manuel, the owner of the company, in the video also. But this is Tommy's new video for his single that's hitting October 31st. You can get it on iTunes. The address will be up on the video. And this is from his new CD, Give 'Em Hell.
Rockin' Inc., Tommy Henriksen, here's my new video, Give 'Em Hell. I'll see you guys, MSG with Alice Cooper and Motley Crue at the end of the month.
Tommy!
Singles dropping October 31st. Thank you.
Can you feel the fire inside of me? You wanna take it, hide it, steal it from me. I got a rock and roll heart beating out of my chest. 'Cause this heart will forgive, but it never forgets. Yeah, I say yeah, yeah. You know I spread wildfire, set me free. I'm a bloody survivor, a dying breed. I got a rock and roll heart beating out of my chest, and I can't now, won't now, can't let go. If you know what I mean. Now you know what I mean. Living hell, no pain, this ain't cool, what a show. Blood roars underneath, find the strength, give 'em hell. Give 'em hell. Yeah, give 'em hell. Give 'em hell. You know I can't stop believing, it's never too late. I'm a working class survivor, a dying breed. I Raws underneath, find the strength, give them hell. Give them hell. Yeah, give them hell. Yeah, give them hell. Yeah, yeah. If you know what I mean. Now you know what I mean. Live in hell, no pain. This ain't cool, wanna show. Blood raws underneath, find the strength, give them hell. Yeah, give them hell. Yeah, yeah, give them hell. Yeah, yeah, give them hell. Yeah, yeah. Can you feel the fire inside of me? You wanna take it higher, steal it from me. I got a rock and roll heart beating out of my chest. This is hard, won't forgive, but it never forgets. If you know what I mean. Now you know what I mean. Give them hell.
We're back. Premiere Tommy Henriksen, Tommy CD, Give 'Em Hell. Great little video there. Love it. Catchy. It's a great little tune, right?
I enjoyed it.
Love his kid, a cute little kid. So happy for him.
That's
You know, he
great.
waited a long time, never thought he was going to have a kid. Here he is in his late 40s and has a nice little Finn.
It can
Finn
happen
Cooper.
anytime. It doesn't have to be on a
That's right.
timeline. I think that's
Anytime.
important to know.
And actually, he has a great story on how he met his wife. You know, he's on tour with Alice Cooper, and they were, I don't know where, maybe Germany, somewhere where speaking English wasn't like that well. She was an interpreter, and he had to go meet somebody on the other side of the arena, and she was the interpreter that walked with him, and they had conversation the whole 10 minutes there and back, and they switched numbers, and they kept in touch with each other, and
Oh, I love
they're
it.
together. Right? Great story. And they have a kid. But we're back with you here, and how to get over your ex. Great
Italian
book.
American Style. That's my
it.
book. Yeah.
And it's out there. We gave you all the information earlier, but get to the stores, get online, grab it. Get in touch with Rachel if you have questions. And you know, you do a lot of things with matchmaking and stuff like that. So what are some of the things helping out people with that?
I do matchmaking. I've been doing it for 9 years now, and I've gotten people married and in relationships. And I think it's just a way to introduce people who would have otherwise never met. And I basically interview the guy, I interview the girl, and I find out what each of them are looking for. And then I go out into the world, and I might recruit someone specifically for my client, or I may go through my Facebook friends and say, hey, she's single and she would be perfect, and send her a message and see if she wants to meet my client. And I set up dates for people and then pretty much follow up with them afterward and get their dating feedback, which is really, really important to find out. You know, as we talked about the mock dates before, that's when I go on the date with the client and give my feedback. But it's also good to know how they're coming across to women or men that they would be interested in.
I would like to throw the number up there because I'd like to take a call if we could grab one. But I also have another question on, you know, with a lot of talking, we're talking about the guy side. What do you do to help women?
I work with both men and women. Actually, I have about 50-50. So it's not like I just work with men, although I do more matchmaking for the men. The men are the ones who are coming to me as the paying clients. And so ladies, I set ladies up for free most of the time. That's doing a lot for them right there. They might not be able to afford a high-end matchmaking service, but hey, if they have an amazing guy that they can meet at no cost, why not, right? I do coaching with women as well as men. And I mentioned before, I do a lot of online dating coaching. I do image consulting. For the ladies, that's so important. I mean, men are such visual creatures, so we have to really look our best. So I help them when it comes to selecting an outfit for their date night. Maybe I'll give them tips on makeup or anything. I mean, I'm not a hairstylist, but I know what looks good or doesn't look good, and I'll just do whatever I need to. If I have to go shopping with them, if I have to go out with them and be their wing girl and help them to make eye contact and meet that guy, I'm pretty much like their best friend and their coach at the same time.
That's great. Now, what about deal breakers? Is there
Deal breakers. Deal breakers, like in dating, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, there's lots of deal breakers. I think everyone can have their personal list. They're different for men and women, but there's some that actually tend to be deal breakers for most.
Most?
If you want me to give you one or two.
Yeah, give me one or
I'm happy
two.
to spill the beans. People don't like smokers. You know,
That would be me.
Yeah, sorry. I mean, if you smoke socially, maybe once in a while, it's okay. But I think there's really a movement toward more health and fitness out there today, which is great. So smoking is often a deal breaker, as are drugs or heavy drinking for most people. And other things, things that can't be changed, unfortunately. I mention this so that people can be realistic. For a lot of women, they want to date a man that's like their height or taller. Some women don't mind and they're totally comfortable, but for the most part, I tell men to kind of look for someone that's sort of like, physically a fit for them.
You got to be attracted to the physical side besides getting to know the inner side, which is the most important. The inner side of a person.
The inner beauty is important,
Yes.
but let's face it, if you don't like the outer, then you're not going to get to know the inner. So, and it's not just about looks though, it's about confidence. So I really help people with their body language or how they come across, how they speak, how they can be more attractive to the type of person that they want to attract.
Now, with all of this that you've been doing the last 9 years, what is the big, for yourself, what is the big thing that you've gotten out of this, and where the drive and, what do you get out of it for yourself? You're doing this for all these other people now. You have to get there yourself. You're single.
Right.
So where do you expect yourself to be? Do you have a goal for yourself? I want to be with somebody in this many years. I don't want to be too old.
Of course, yeah. I mean, first of all, I do like to help people. That's why I got into this. That's rewarding and satisfying to me. But it's not like, oh, I'm Mother Teresa. I mean, it's also very fun for me and entertaining for me to do the work that I do. I mean, I talk to people about their dates and their love lives. I know all their secrets. It keeps my life exciting. And being that I'm a writer, just working with people, I have great content like all the time. I'm never short of ideas. There's going to be a lot more books in my future. So I'm getting a really fascinating, unique experience. I mean, how many people do you know that are matchmakers and dating coaches? So I use all that I know from my clients and apply it to my personal life too. So that's kind of like an added bonus there. And of course, I want to be in a relationship and be married and have children and everything else that I'm like the poster child here for others, I want for myself too.
We have a few more seconds here, and I want to also mention that I know you have some reality things coming up, so people can watch you out there on the big screen out there on the tube.
Yeah, I legally can't say what I'm doing right now, but I am being considered for some shows, so.
That's good.
Maybe seeing more of me
So
soon.
we'll hear about that on your website, but don't forget, Rachel Russo, you go to her website. If you want to throw your social media out there really quick once again before we get out of here.
So on Twitter, it's Rachel T. Russo. Facebook is Rachel Russo MSMFT. I'm also on Instagram as Rachel.Russo. Rachel spelled R-A-C-H-E-L. Russo, R-U-S-S-O. RachelRusso.com is the website.
All right, it was a pleasure having you. I hope everyone got a lot out of this. I've got a lot of good information on this. And like I said, the show was here, and get in touch with Rachel and you'll get all the questions, and hopefully she can help you out. And next week, Rockin' Inc. MC have a special Halloween show, Mickey James, and everybody thinks Mickey James is dead. So tune in next week. It'll be an exciting show, back into the music side of my Rockin' Inc. show. Have a great week, a great weekend. I'll see you next Monday. And thank you, Rachel.
Thank you for having me.
All she knows, play the part of being used. The more she hides, the more I show. I wanna be abused by you. Her body's like an
undertow. You're drowning everything in me. The way she moves, the way she knows everything I need.